So today we're going to talk about the difference between high intensity cardio, so interval training, and low base cardio. So LISS, we like to call it, which is low intensity steady state based cardio. Now, fasted cardio and stuff does cop a bit of heat in terms of people say it's not worth it. It doesn't get you any results. It's a waste of time. Personally, I've done a lot of low steady state cardio and I've got some really great results from it, as well as I've done the high intensity stuff and got some good results from it too.
Yeah, I was going to say you did a comp recently, and I know you integrated a lot of low intensity stuff in there. Do you think it kind of helped with that? Yeah,
definitely. And I think the thing with low intensity cardio is it's easy to stick to. You can track it very well as well. So that you can, doing 35 minutes every week, then doing 40 minutes every week, doing 45 minutes every week. You can make small changes to it and you can notice the differences straight off the bat. The thing with low cardio as well versus high cardio is that, it doesn't require a huge hit on your CNS, on your central nervous system. So it's a lot easier to stick to. If you're going to take someone who's a mum with a few kids and quite a high stress, for her to do high intensity cardio 2 or 3 days a week, it's going to be a big hit to her central nervous system. It's going to be a high stress. And she's probably not going to want to do it. Not necessarily, but everyone, but...
One thing I find as well is a lot of people struggle to wake up in the mornings and do like HIIT or strength training. But if they're integrating some low intensity cardio into their program as well, it's much easier to wake up in the morning and just jump on the treadie for 15-20 minutes instead of kind of going in there and just hammering out a high intensity session or a strength session. So
definitely, it's a good supplementary exercise. Yeah. Like we're not saying, hey, jump on the treadmill every day for 7 days a week. No, definitely not. But if your goal is fat loss and you've got a good solid foundation, 2 to 3 days a week of resistance training, and you're looking at something to get a little bit leaner that's not too hard to manage, then your low intensity stuff can be great. Something like 60% of your max heart rate is a good kind of point to kind of stick at.
At the very least, it's not going to be bad for you.
No, exactly.
You're doing more activity, it's going to be good for your heart and your health. So integrating it into your program is not going to be a bad thing at any stage.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing an hour a day and you're trying to build muscle or something like that, it's not going to help that. But
the low steady state is best used in terms of having it with resistance training. That's just the best way. Like you wouldn't want to do it by yourself.
When we talk about low steady state, what are we talking about exactly?
Fast jog. Depending on how fit you are, it could be a fast walk. It could be an incline
heart rate
treadmill.
zone of like 130 to 150.
Yeah.
Or if you don't have a heart rate monitor, how would people kind of measure that?
I would say describe it as a pace so that you can still have a conversation. So I can still talk to you, but I'm not struggling to breathe. Yeah. And then when you go to that high intensity, you shouldn't be able to talk really. So they're the kind of the two differences. How you can know is just based off your talking.
Yeah.
And high intensity, it depends on your goals. Like if your goal is fat loss and you're doing high intensity, you can still do it, of course.
High intensity is interesting, isn't it? Because you've been doing a lot of high intensity recently for the burpees, and you've actually noticed a bit of mass gain, haven't you? Which is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
And even in your upper body, which you haven't been working much at all.
No, and my legs have exploded for doing high intensity work with high repetitions, and
which is pretty weird, isn't it?
Compared to what you hear that high reps is not going to put on muscle gain. You got to stay in between that 8 to 12 hypertrophy.
And you haven't actually done a strength program or hypertrophy program for weeks. Really.
No, but this is the thing, right? When you do the same thing all the time, your body gets used to it, and we grow off progressive overload. So by changing something, you get a change in your body. If you do the same, you look the same. That's just how it works. So that's why I like low steady state cardio, is because you can make small changes and you will see changes. If your food and your diet program is in check and your training is in check, and then you just amplify a little bit of cardio, it's such a small change that you can make that does get you some substantial result.
I've heard a few times people come in and saying low intensity cardio is not going to help, it's not going to do anything. What would you say to people that kind of come in and say that?
Oh, one Macca's meal won't do anything either, right? It's the same thing. It's one thing will never really do a lot, but a small amount of things very regularly is going to do a lot. So low to moderate cardio once or twice a week may not change over a few weeks, but over 6 to 8 weeks, you're living a healthier lifestyle.
Goes back to that compound effect as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Training clients for the last how long has taught me that people don't want to do HIIT training all the time.
And if you go in and smash them every single session, they're going to quit.
Also, if someone's training with me 2 or 3 days a week and I say, hey, you got to do your high intensity cardio by yourself, the chances are they'll think they're doing high intensity, but they're not really doing high intensity.
Even yourself, if you were to go into the gym and just do high intensity every session like you have been recently, but that's for
it's taken years. It's taken years to want to get that. Like, it's not like I wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. and it's like, oh, I can't wait to do high intensity today. You know?
Yeah.
But the effects I get from high intensity are amazing, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. But the thing about high intensity is if you don't know what to do, if you're not experienced, and you don't have a good, foundation, it can be detrimental. And, a lot of that stuff with like, F45 is the popular topic right now because everyone's going F45 every day, and it does promote overtraining if you're not used to it. To go into
it is hard on the body if you're doing it every day, that's for sure.
And I'm not saying it's a bad workout, but it may not be a suitable workout for someone who's never trained before. Hey, let's go to the gym 6 days a week and do full body resistance at basically 80% capacity.
And also, maintaining that's going to be near impossible for a long period of time. If you're doing 6 days a week, high intensity, 8 week challenge, but it is going to be near impossible for everyday people to maintain 6 days a week or even 4 days a week of high intensity training.
Yeah. So what I would recommend to someone who's got a general goal of fat loss, increase muscle, a little bit strength, is obviously start one with your resistance training. So build a solid foundation around full body movements 2 to 3 times a week. Have high intensity in there because it's still great for your heart and it is a good program. So something like 1 to 2 20-minute sessions.
It does actually help with muscle gain as well.
Definitely does. And this is the thing, you don't want to get so tired doing your weights cardiovascular wise so by doing the high intensity, you're going to increase that cardiovascular output.
True, yeah.
So then you can lift weights.
So it's actually going to help you with the
you see those guys that just lift weights.
Which might be another reason that it actually helps with muscle gain anyway.
Definitely. You perform better in the gym.
Yeah.
And then I would have that low steady state cardio as just a good foundation of healthy lifestyle. That's the thing, just a healthy lifestyle.
And then you're covering all bases as well.
Yeah, you've got your resistance in there, you've got your high intensity in there, then you've just got a good movement base that keeps you active. And then you can look at those 3 things and you can kind of say to yourself like, okay, I haven't seen results this week and let's pretend it's not food, which usually is. And you go, okay, which one do I want to increase? Okay, I'm finding that my body's very sore, so I might not increase the resistance this week, so I might increase the low steady state cardio.
So that way you're not actually dropping back your activity levels,
no,
but you're just changing them up a little bit.
Yeah, and that could be as simple, and for me, when I did my, bodybuilding competition, I had everything in check, and I would just put on an extra 5 minutes of my low cardio each session, which added up to about 20 minutes a week. And I would notice a difference. So 5 minutes over 4 sessions, and I got a difference in my body composition.
5 minutes, really.
It's nothing. So that's why I like it, because it's easy to change, and it just doesn't cause you so much stress. Like if you've got a high intensity workout and you've got to add an extra 10 minutes of high intensity work, and if you're not used to that, you're kicking yourself. You're just like, I just do not want to do this, and then you start to not look forward to exercise. And then that has other problems down the track. So if you're new to the gym, summary, just start with low to moderate cardio and work your way up to a high intensity program.
And mix it up.
You don't need to come into the gym straight away and just smash 45-minute functional workouts.
I find that people tend to spend more than 45 minutes though, especially when they're starting out the gym. They'll go there for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I reckon I spend less time in the gym now than I ever have.
Yeah, because you're more efficient.
I could not be in there. If I was in there for an hour every day, the way that I train now, I couldn't maintain it the same way.
No way.
I'm in there now. I'm in there.
It's just using your time more effectively.
Max 45 minutes every day, and
Yeah, I'd say my workouts are pretty similar. 45, 50.
Yeah, max. And when I first went, when I was just starting, I was in there for an hour and a half,
that's
2.5 hours.
And that's not, you can't maintain that.
I did nothing.
Because your rest period is probably like 5 minutes.
Well, this is the thing, you do 10 reps, rest for a minute and a half, 10 reps, rest for a minute and a half, 10 reps, and you've done 9 minutes on the
You're
same
sitting
exercise.
there on the leg extension for like 5 minutes, 2 or 3.
Yeah, checking Instagram in between sets. And now it's 9 minutes, but in that I've done, you do leg press, squats, something else, 3 exercises back to back with a 30-second rest, 45-second rest. So you're getting in triple in the same minute.
Yeah.
So your output is at 3 times what you normally would do. So it starts to increase other things too.
And so if you do have time constraints, then it's a much easier way to kind of get your workout in. If you're not, spending an hour and a half in the gym, obviously that's going to be
that's why if you know
disruptive to your routine.
If you know how to lift weights correct, based on your goals and correctly, then you don't need to do a shitload of HIIT training, because your weights might look a little bit like HIIT training anyway.
Supersetting and that kind of thing.
Depending on how you're doing it, yeah, for sure. So there's just an easy way that you can kind of learn the difference between low to moderate cardio, learn the difference between high intensity cardio, work out what's right for you, but also work out what you can manage.
And what you enjoy as well.
Yeah, definitely. And
Obviously, if you really hate HIIT training, don't do it 2 or 3 times a week, because you're not going to maintain it. You're going to hate it.
As a minimum kind of foundation, just kind of try and remember 2 resistance training sessions a week, 1 high intensity session a week, and then 1 to 2 low to moderate cardio sessions a week. If you can kind of remember that and keep that as your base point and then play around with it from there, you're going to be on a
healthy
good track. Yeah. All right, go get that cardio.